Hello, this is Thnx Yuri from Filipino Women.
And this is Bruce. And today we're going to address a question from one of our subscribers. And we actually we skipped out last week. We just got too busy. So I apologize for that. We're going to try to stay consistent on Saturdays and or Sundays. But let me show you what we see here. If I could switch real quick to my desktop. Okay, so we had a question from Mr. Dnel Winde, and he says, "Thanks, Yuri and Bruce, for answering my questions about since I have met my Filipina girlfriend and thinking that it is going to be a risk. You both have eased my mind some by doing so. Plus, I just watched 3 videos about scams Bruce and you talked about. Let me see. So I will definitely have more questions about this." And he actually asked many more questions about it, and we read through it. And I think I get the idea. I didn't really want to show his other comment. I just want to address overall where I think he's going at. And if this is wrong, please, feel free to, point me in the right direction. I think what this is about is you want to know you're getting serious with your Filipina, and the reason why this one, like when I read the comment, like I felt like I needed to answer it, is because it's very similar to how I felt at that stage when I first started, because I had been through a lot of bad relationships, and Yuri had been through a lot of bad relationships, so we were very apprehensive. And I've been scammed. I did a couple videos about it, and I got scammed bad, and I think it's because not out of being like dumb. I think that I just have a very big heart that makes me, I guess I'm dumb. When it comes to certain things about love, I can be pretty dumb. I let my heart lead me, and that's really not, I'm not saying it's not important to be romantic or being like really in love and all that stuff. That's important, but you have to think, you have to think about what you want, and is this person matching where you want to go? Anyway, I just felt a link. And I would say that what you're trying to do is take it to the next level. You love this woman, she's Filipina, you're in a long distance relationship, and now you want to take it to the next level, but you're like, man, I'm sending money and stuff. Should I be apprehensive about this? What's the risk I'm taking? I don't want my heart to get stomped on and everything. I know exactly how you feel. And I'm going to tell you like this, and I know Yuri's going to agree with me on this. To go to the next level, to minimize your risk, the risk to you and to her, you have to meet her in person. And meet her in person, and if you can, live with her. If you can, now I know not everybody can do that, like live with the person for like a month to really see what they're all about. But if you can at least meet her in person and be in the same with her for a number of days, I would say at least 4 or 5 days with that person to really see what's going on, that would give you more assurance to take it to the next level. I would say that was extremely important, and if I was you, I would not, looking back, if I could do the same thing over again, I'd do exactly how I did it. We did not take it to the next level until we met in person, and then it was a magical experience. And maybe that sounds cliche and corny, but I'm telling you, it was the best day of my life. It was the best day of my life in Cebu. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, if you can, you should live with a person, because marriage is serious. You cannot just marry someone that you have dated for a few days, especially with a Filipina, You have to really get to know each other, and also you have to study what's going on in our culture. And if she has a kid, then that's your instant responsibility to become a father.
Right.
So yeah, that's a factor that I also had to consider before choosing my husband. So you have to build the relationship because there's kids involved. You
Right.
cannot just hop into a marriage just because you want the person right there in the same year. Because if there's kids involved, that's your responsibility too when you become a parent of that kid. And yeah, you have to think about it first and get to know the person for at least a year or more, because that's really important. Because if you're gonna have kids together and you already have an instant kid when you hook up with this woman, then you're gonna become a father of this kid. You have to be stable enough to know that this person is really good for you, is really the right one for you.
Right. And I am definitely not trying to discourage you. I would just say that from my personal experience, wanting to take it to that next level, it was so imperative. It was so important for me to meet her first. And that was the mistake I made with a lot of those scammers, that I let my heart get in the way, and I stopped thinking because I wanted things to be right for the first time in my relationship life. Everything in my career has gone so well, but my relationship life has been a disaster because I think with my heart too much. And I'm just going to tell you, you got to let logic come in, and logic has told me that I need to meet this person first. And all those scammers, I didn't meet them. And so I kept taking risks after risk after risk. And after a while, I started getting jaded, I started not trusting people. I gave her a hard time. I was like, man, I don't know. But then the thing that I think that would have changed that whole course of that is if I would have just met her first before taking it to that next level. Or even those other scammers, I would have known. Like if I would have gone there, I would have known, yeah, this is not real. This is not cool at all. But that's what I did with Yuri, and it actually worked out really well. So that would be my personal experience to you. Make sure you meet her before you go to that next level.
Yeah, and don't. It's good to have risk, but
you got to manage your risk.
Yes.
Don't take on too much risk. Manage it. Manage that risk. So
yeah, and don't fall for the person if you haven't met the person, because the person can say lots of words to make you fall in love, and you hear the voice, oh, the voice is lovely and stuff like that. But the reality is you have to spend time, live with a person before you can really judge and according to what's gonna happen to the relationship. Because really it's a serious thing, especially it's so expensive to
process.
bring a Filipina here.
And she has a kid. If you go too far and it's not gonna work out, you get attached to the kids. You know what I mean? And that's like a whole different. And the kids sometimes get attached to you, and then you just gotta watch out with that. So that's it, Mr. Winde. Me and Yuri really wish the best for you in whatever path you choose, and drive safely out there.
Be safe.